Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here for the Color Rush Studio creative team. Today I wanted to share my last layout using the Golden Days collection, and I particularly wanted to have a play with this month's sketch and challenge. And so the sketch features a background of strips of pattern paper, a collage of about 6 photos, some pattern papers behind, a hidden journaling that may be either tucked in or flipped out to discover that, and a large title underneath, and embellishments around the photo. And so instead of doing the pattern paper strips in the background, I thought I would do a mixed media background. And so I grabbed this stencil from Vicki Boutin. This is from one of her very first collections, I believe, and it features different size bubbles graduating from very small to very large. And I grabbed 2 of my Art Alchemy colors. Alright, these 2 colors are Ginger Magic. That's the sort of bronze gold color. And the green color is called Fairy Wings. These are the Sparks collection, and they are acrylic paints, but they are a bit thicker, so they make a great media for using with stencils. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that I had these 2 beautiful colors that tie in perfectly with the Golden Days kit, particularly the gold and the green. And so I'm just trying to keep, even though mixed media tends to be more loosey-goosey than cut strips of pattern paper, I'm still trying to keep vertical rows here with the colors. I made marks where my photo was going to be so that I didn't have to use paint going behind the photo. And that kind of helped direct where I wanted the paint to go. And then for the bottom part, below the photo on the layout, I'm just flipping the stencil and going from large circle to smaller circle in reverse. And again, using the alternating colors to kind of try to get that feeling of a goldish bronze strip to green to bronze to green. You get the idea, I think. I loved how this turned out. I was totally channeling. I have not done a mixed media layout in what feels like forever. And I've been just tuning in to Gia Lau, and I consider her a mixed media queen. And so Gia, thanks for the inspiration to get out some of my mixed media things and have a play with this background. It was a lot of fun to do this, and what I love is just the idea of play, that this doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly so. It can just turn out the way that it turns out, and kind of let go of the creative process and let that process lead you to where it goes. 2 interesting things that I figured out. One was, once I finished these 4 quadrants, of course, you can see the gap at the bottom, and there's a smaller gap at the top. And so I set it aside to let it dry, just to let it air dry and think about how I wanted to continue, if I wanted to fill in those gaps with more of the paint, or did I want to leave it like that? What do I want to do about it? And I thought, while that's drying, I would go ahead and create the photo cluster. So one of the things I changed about the photo collage is that the sketch shows 6 photos. I switched out the 5th and 6th photo for a tall photo. These are from a couple of months ago, back in June, when we went up to New York to get Nick from college at the end of his sophomore year. And so they're just different photos of us seeing him again after it had been a while and getting his things out of his room, capturing the front door and the street where his dorm room was is really cool to capture. And so that takes care of the collage. Now, the challenge was to do a flip out or some kind of interactive journaling. And so I used the tag, the little white stitched tag from the embellishment pack, and wrote journaling on the back of that, added a little bit of the ribbon to the top and tucked that behind the photo collage. And so when I adhered that photo collage down, I left the top unadhered so that it just drops into that little pocket that I created. And then I added a couple more of the pattern papers behind it. I also added a different color strip at the bottom, which you can see it's that diagonal plaid that I loved so much, or diagonal gingham that I like so much. That's going to be the housing for the title. And I added a little bit more ribbon there just to repeat that element again. Notice the adorable rainbow on the left-hand side, and I mirrored that with the canvas flare on the right-hand side at the end of that ribbon. And so I think at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and close up the paints and consider the background done. Going ahead and creating the cluster for the photos and the journaling kind of helped seal the deal here, because I realized that at the top, the ribbon will sort of conceal that little gap up there. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and add my title. The title reads Coming Home. And then I'll be able to add some more embellishments around that rainbow, and that will make that bottom gap less obvious. And I do want to just say that it would be absolutely okay to leave that gap there also, even if I didn't, hide it or add other things on top of it, because that is the fun part of working with mixed media, is that we don't expect it to be perfect. And so it continues that sort of casual border here that I've created that houses these photos and these stories. So there's where I tucked in that little flower, and I also added the little butterfly, and I am just loving how this is coming together. The little rainbow and the butterfly at the top next to the tag, and that brings your eye up there to see what's going on with the little ribbon. And then let's see, I'm going to tuck some more flowers here into the side right there at that rainbow. Repeated that also on the other side next to the canvas flare. And then I felt like I needed to add a little bit of this ball fringe, this little tiny pink ball fringe. Yes, my friends, use pink on your boy layouts too, of course. I'm in these photos as well, and so also never forget that blue and pink are assigned colors. They've been assigned to gender, which is a human construct. And so I've just taken complete liberty here with this layout to use the colors that I like. Just a few last little things here, adding the date. I just did June 2024. And I'm going to wrap up the page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the layouts that I've created with the Golden Days August 2024 kit. I will see you back here again real soon. Bye-bye.